Once our experts map the business process flow and carefully identify the targets to be measured, we design and deploy business and technical dashboards using the company's preferred application, in this case, ITRS Geneos. This is a business dashboard illustrating the credit transfer and direct debit clearing through the Euro Banking Association. It was designed to be utilised by the business and the cash operations teams. The components on the periphery of the dashboard represent the routing and back-end systems, access channels, and partner applications. The main area in the centre represents the SEPA engine. It consists of internal channels which route messages from and to external channels or applications. These are the engine's processes. Each one of them is responsible for performing a particular task in order to guarantee all transactions are processed accordingly. Note that each process has a set of internal queues. The process uptime and the number of transactions per queue are being monitored against predefined thresholds. Thresholds can always be changed at any time by their respective target owners. We have also added a high-level technical section displaying important targets such as the status of application and database schedulers and start and end of day batch jobs. Finally, we come to the breach predictor. It monitors the volume and the amount of incoming and outgoing transactions plotted in a chart against the minimum and maximum values for a predefined historical period. This can be extremely useful to identify anomalies in or out of the processing peak times. This is a SEPA end-to-end technical dashboard designed to be utilized by the support teams. The components on the left and right hand sides represent the routing systems and channels. The SEPA engine is illustrated in the center of the dashboard, and it contains technical targets such as the uptime of the channels and the processes and the cutoffs associated with file feeds and batch jobs. The partner applications which are responsible for performing tasks outside of the SEPA engine are displayed on the top and bottom of the dashboard. This is iControl's home screen. iControl is Alpha Insight's management information system, responsible for storing targets, monitoring points, thresholds, and breaches. As an example, the following target measures the age of the oldest outgoing transaction being repaired and validates this against a predefined threshold. Adding a new target is very simple. Make sure you enter as much information as possible, especially in the name, description, and impact fields. It's also very important to choose carefully the correct calendar and the owner group which will receive the alerts on future breaches. Once the target has been created, it is time to include one or more thresholds. Select the active times, sample frequency, and the warning and/or critical thresholds. Don't forget to add a meaningful impact text. It will be displayed in the email alert, and it should give clear instructions on how to handle the target breach. Now, let's have a look at a few typical scenarios in action. Scenario 1. The FLT process goes down. The FLT process is responsible for handling payments within the regulatory filter stage. As a result of this outage, a backlog will start to form in the wait queue. The SEPA engine is behaving as expected when suddenly the FLT process goes down. The technical dashboard will also display a red RAG status in the section dedicated to the engine's processes. Note that the traffic between the embargo filtering system and the engine will stop. From a technical perspective, we can easily isolate the issue to the SEPA engine, as no alerts were raised for the embargo filtering application's uptime. The breach will be reported via the dashboard, email alerts, Active Console, which is ITRS's application used by support teams, and via iControl. Back at the business dashboard, we will see the CCO and BEO wait queues showing no pending transactions for processing. The FLT wait queue, on the other hand, will breach its critical threshold as transactions are now accumulating due to the process being down. Now, once the support teams fix the incident, the platform will go back to being green. Scenario 2. SEPA credit transfer file cutoff. Alpha Insight SEPA monitoring solution checks all processing cycle windows and alerts all predefined teams for any anomalies found in the number of files sent or received. In this scenario, the 1600 CET cutoff time is approaching and the SCT file has not been loaded yet. Now the time is 1545 CET, and although there is no backlog in any process queue, the SCT file is yet to be loaded. As this is not an incident yet, a warning RAG status will be displayed. Similarly to the previous scenario, the technical dashboard will also display the issue, and the corresponding email alerts will be sent out. The dashboard can also display drill downs for more granular information. By clicking on the link, a pop-up window will display the underlying breach data. 8 minutes later, the problem is fixed and the dashboard will go back to normal. These are just a few examples of how powerful technical and business process monitoring can be when combining the strength of iControl with AI's proven successful methodology.